NC State, North Carolina. And Carolina will have it first.
Man-to-man defense for NC State. It's Jeremy Hyatt matched up against Zwicker, and Strong with the quick move takes it from Jamison.
Turnover number 1 for the Tar Heels. This is what NC State has done throughout the tournament. They've forced teams into turnovers. They've protected the ball well, melted the clock, and made it count. Here's Benjamin from way outside.
You see who was guarding Benjamin in the North Carolina man-to-man? It was Serge Zwicker. Isn't that interesting?
Goes inside as Zwicker. 2-0 Tar Heels.
That was a great entry pass. You throw it up that high, nobody from North Carolina State's going to be able to get it.
And that's what you talked about in the pregame. That certainly is a tremendous mismatch for NC State.
It'll be interesting to see if NC State can utilize this mismatch, and that is Benjamin playing against Zwicker.
This is Harrison. He's had the hot hand throughout the tournament. Penetrates, shoots, and misses.
Benjamin is going to have to be able to score some from the perimeter to force North Carolina's Zwicker to come out, or some change in the North Carolina defensive alignment.
Olajuwon.
Boy, Olajuwon, what a great move in there. And again, Olajuwon is as big as anybody North Carolina State has on the court, so a tremendous size advantage for.
So Okalaja makes it a 4-0 ball game, 18.5 minutes to play first half. Don't forget now, NC State has fallen behind in every game in the tournament. Here's Benjamin, kicks it back to Hyatt. Jeremy Hyatt back to Benjamin. He'll fire from beyond the arc. And Okalaja.
Boy, that matchup problem that we talked about, Tim, it's been evident early. Hyatt matched up against.
Here's Williams.
Well, you got to block out if you are the Wolfpack, but again, North Carolina with tremendous size and a tremendous offensive rebound.
Good spacing. Jamison's shot is short, and Hyatt comes up with it for NC State.
That wasn't a classic block out by Danny Strong, but for Herb Sendek's troops, it was good enough to get the ball, and that's all the better it has to be.
Working the ball around the perimeter. Again, Benjamin short with his shot off the front of the iron.
It's a tough task, shooting over some 7'2".
Danny Strong with a big rebound. Great block out by NC State.
Now this is what North Carolina State wants to do. They want to walk the ball up the court, run some time off the clock.
Danny Strong on the baseline. Tough shot.
You know, it's interesting. Antawn Jamison is matched up against Justin Gainey.
Zwicker with a pass inside to Jamison. Carter with the follow. Possession arrow belongs to the Wolfpack.
How do you lose Antawn Jamison inside? Well, North Carolina State did. Jamison simply misses the shot, and then Carter with an air ball from about 2 feet. Jeremy Hyatt battling very, very hard. Was ruled a jump ball. North Carolina State possession.
ACC Harrison, and he's fouled. Shot will not count.
Tim, one of the things that North Carolina State has done extremely well against the man-to-man defense that they faced in the tournament is to really spread out the court. You can see nobody within the three-point arc in red shirts, but there's 5 white shirts right around the ball. Nice job by Harrison to draw the foul.
Foul was on Jamison. That's his first team foul for the Tar Heels. This is Danny Strong beyond the arc.
North Carolina in the zone that time after the out-of-bounds play.
1-point game with 16:10 to play first half. Here's Jamison, and he's fouled. Carolina's been successful getting it down deep, getting good shots, have not been able to finish. The foul is on Danny Strong. That's his first.
North Carolina State has done a great job defensively throughout the season, and in this tournament, they're holding their opponents to under 50 points a game.
Jamison, a 61% free throw shooter, was 3 for 5 yesterday and hits his first here. Two-time first-team all-conference player. Now Ed Cota comes into the ball game, and Carter will go out. Ed Cota has gained so much confidence. Distributes well, breaks down defenses, protects the ball. Leading vote getter for Rookie of the Year. All-rookie team in the conference. 6-3 North Carolina.
Now Zwicker is guarding Gainey. This is an amazing matchup. The tallest guy on the court is guarding the littlest guy.
Gainey takes it all the way to the baseline, and Zwicker ends up with it.
And that's the problem. Zwicker can just envelop him.
Hyatt got his hand on it. Strong ends up with it. NC State playing good defense, getting their hands on a lot of balls.
This is really some matchup right here. Now you notice Zwicker playing way off, and Zwicker's going to try basically to play zone, hanging in the middle of the lane.
Harrison hits a three.
North Carolina State has been forced into the perimeter game, and they've hit 2 3-point baskets for all 6 of their points.
We're tied at 6 as we approach the 15-minute mark, first half.
Strong and Zwicker really banging.
Shot clock down to 10. Here's Williams. Shammond Williams, who had 24 points yesterday, 4 of 7 beyond the arc, struggling there right now early on.
Obviously, with Zwicker guarding Gainey, North Carolina not going to put a lot of pressure on the ball when Gainey's got the ball. Harrison walks.
First turnover for NC State, 14:28 to play first half. We're tied at 6. Tied at 6 here at the Greensboro Coliseum.
And we've talked about North Carolina and their size on the inside. You can see what they've been able to do over their last 3 games. Dominance in particular on the offensive boards today. They've doubled up the North Carolina State Wolfpack, and Serge Zwicker, very important in terms of rebounding the basketball, but today he's the point center, guarding that point guard on defense.
Here's Zwicker, banks it in.
NC State knocked that ball loose in there, but Zwicker active on the inside, good hands to catch it and lay it in. He's got 4.
He was left all alone for the putback, and it's 8-6. Tar Heels.
Now notice how far Zwicker plays off Gainey. Gainey only a 23% three-point shooter, and when he's
he gets it right back.
Take that. But Zwicker can play off of him. Gainey is unlikely to shoot it over him, and if he tries to shoot it over him, Timmy's got to shoot it over a 7'2" guy. Then if Gainey penetrates to the basket, Zwicker, by just taking a couple of steps back, as long as he doesn't hand check him, he can get to the basket as quickly as Gainey and get those arms out there and make it tough to shoot a layup. Very interesting strategic move.
Again, NC State uses a lot of the clock, and a foul will be on Williams. He held C.C. Harrison as he cut through.
One of the problems with this defensive alignment is that with Zwicker playing out near the top, and there's a hold by Shammond Williams. He gets him on the shirt, but with Zwicker playing out near the top and Jamison trying to guard Danny Strong out in the 3-point area, you don't have anybody in the middle.
Nice move by Jeremy Hyatt. And we're tied at 8. NC State playing with great confidence. Spreading the floor, get spacing, and making the offense work. Nice pass. Oh my, Jamison just came in the back door. Zwicker saw him.
Great hands once again by Zwicker. That ball bounced off Justin Gainey's head, and Zwicker grabbed it. North Carolina now in the zone.
Again, no panic at NC State as they work the perimeter.
NC State is very comfortable with a slowly paced game.
Hyatt again looked to penetrate and kicked it out to Benjamin, who had already moved.
Well, what Hyatt is telling Benjamin, hey, the object here is to penetrate inside the zone. We got the penetration, the zone collapsed. If you'll stand there, you'll get a 3. turnovers now for North Carolina State.
They look inside as Zwicker. Instead, Cota brings it back up top. Working against Gainey. Here's Cota. Nice pass to Jamison. And he's fouled.
And that's 2 fouls against Danny Strong. Little miscommunication on defense there by the Wolfpack. Strong thought he and Hyatt were going to switch, and they did not.
Great cut by Jamison backdoor, but how about the pass from Cota?
You can see that screen by Zwicker, though, is the key, and Strong at the end of that replay is telling Hyatt, hey, we were supposed to switch. Hyatt stayed with Zwicker. Nobody covering Jamison.
Fight for the rebound, and Hyatt gets it. It's 12-8 North Carolina.
Even with 2 personal fouls, Strong stays in the game. Here's that zone again.
Here's Danny Strong.
And that's a shot that North Carolina State is going to have to make. Nice concept in the zone. Good screen by Benjamin. Got Strong open.
Most of the scoring in the tournament for NC State has come from Harrison and Strong. Again, the easy bucket by Jamison. He has 8. It's a 20-second timeout. 11:27 to play first half. It's 14-8 Carolina. Our call of the week from yesterday's Wake Forest North Carolina game. Take a look at the Tar Heels with the spread offense. Now watch Ed Cota makes a beautiful entry bounce pass to Antawn Jamison, who has position for the basket. It helps the Tar Heels to a 12-point lead with just under 4 minutes left. That was our call of the week, and Ed Cota has carried that in here today.
Danny Strong really having a tough time on the inside, and it's because Serge Zwicker setting screens in there. Zwicker actually uses Hyatt to help him with the screen. That gets Jamison open. North Carolina State, we said they were going to have a problem with that Zwicker-Jamison matchup. They've really had it thus far.
Harrison trying to take it to baseline. Now they get it back out to Gainey. Gainey hesitant with his shot. Here's Benjamin, gets in the trap and banks it in.
I don't know that that's the one they wanted, but they'll take it from Benjamin.
He has 5, an impossible shot by Benjamin.
Those are the kind of shots that have been going in for North Carolina State in this tournament. The problem for the Wolfpack is that they're not only going to have to figure out how to score, but they've got to stop North Carolina. The Tar Heels 4 of their last 4.
This is Carter with the jumper.
Make it 5-5. Remember, North Carolina just isn't an interior team. You collapse everybody on the inside, and Carter, in particular, Shammond Williams can light you up from out there.
Jeremy Hyatt off the back of the iron, and there's Harrison with the rebound. North Carolina leads by 6. Danny Strong has a big look again and misses. This foul's going to be called on Jai.
Jai and Hyatt got tangled up.
Mokhtar Jai picks up his first personal. Another look, and we'll be back after this message from Budweiser. North Carolina State comes in as the number 8 seed, trying to become the first 8th seed to win a championship in the ACC tournament. Nowhere to go but up. How about this? The lowest seeds to win, 6th seed, happened 4 times. Now, I know you're going to dispute that.
No, the lowest seed to win. Actually, my point is that the lowest seed in the championship game isn't a number 8 seed. It was actually a number 7 seed, the University of Virginia in 1977. And how do you say is 7 lower than 8? Well, we've got 9 teams in the conference now. We only had 7 in 1977.
Trick question. Trick answer. Carolina leads by 6 with 10 minutes to play in the first half. This is Jeremy Hyatt back to Gainey.
And there's the zone again. Really has forced NC State almost exclusively to the perimeter.
It's an active zone, though. They extended to the perimeter.
It's a big zone is what it is.
Here's Hyatt, and he had a good look and couldn't convert.
play a possession team like North Carolina State and keep the pressure on most effectively by scoring when you have the ball.
Looking inside to get at this Wicker.
Oh, what a great job not bringing the ball down, just turning and shooting it in the basket. He's got 6 now. And now if you're North Carolina State, you're faced now with your largest deficit of the game. You got to figure out a way to score, and North Carolina goes back to the man-to-man with Zwicker matched up against Gainey.
Carolina leads by 8. They double down on Strong. He kicks it out. Harrison shot off the iron.
He didn't really catch that one cleanly. And obviously only 1 shot opportunity per trip for North Carolina State.
Into Zwicker again. And he banks it in. Serge Zwicker had 17 points yesterday. He has 8 already here in the first half.
Jamison and Zwicker really screening for one another on the inside very effectively. They each have 8 points.
Gainey misses his jumper.
If defensively you can force Gainey to shoot threes, he's only a 23% shooter from out there. That's a big advantage.
On the baseline, Cota back to Williams. His jump shot. And Zwicker will be called for over the back.
Zwicker picks up the foul, but he has been a key factor in the game for Dean Smith's troops. Zwicker just big body, 7'2", Hyatt can't guard him, and as long as he doesn't bring the ball down, those 6'6" guys just aren't going to cause him any problem.
North Carolina on an 11-game win streak. A lot of reasons for that. So many people talk about the defense, and that has been a factor. But North Carolina has really picked up offensively as well. Averaged 80 points over that 11-game win streak. And again, CC Harrison misses his shot. Here come the Tar Heels.
Seems like every shot they take, they're shooting it over Zwicker.
Jump hook by Zwicker. Jamison,
what rebound.
And Strong ends up with it. Wolfpack down by 10. How many times has the Wolfpack been on the ropes in this tournament? Gainey's got that shot. He's got to pull the trigger on top.
Tim, one of the things that North Carolina State has done most effectively is use their personnel doing the things they can do, and Gainey just isn't a great outside shooter.
Williams picks up his second personal with 7:06 to play in the first half. It's a 10-point lead. We'll be back after this from Park West Auto Parts Stores. Welcome back. North Carolina leads NC State by 10. How many times have been on the ropes? Well, NC State was down 21-5 to Duke, and yet they're getting the shots here, Dan, but they aren't putting them down.
They're not getting the kinds of shots that they've been getting in the prior games in the tournament. They're basically standstill shooters. They're standstill jump shots, mostly beyond the three-point line, and unfortunately for the Wolfpack, they're only 2 of 10 from beyond the line. They've missed their last 6 shots.
Jamison and Zwicker have been big inside. That's been the mismatch, and they are making it count.
We talked about that before the game. What does North Carolina State do with Jamison and Zwicker? And they haven't really solved the problem. Each man playing very effectively on the inside.
You mentioned that Zwicker sagging so deeply on Gainey. He's got that shot outside, but he's been reluctant to pull the trigger.
Coming into this game, Gainey only 9 for 40 from beyond the three-point arc. So that's not his game, shooting the ball out there. North Carolina back to the zone.
Zwicker getting a breather. Jai in the middle. Still a big body, big presence. Here's Gainey Strong, and he hits 3.
The 3 can be the great equalizer in a game like this. And North Carolina State now 3 for 11. Those are Strong's first points of the game.
That cuts the Carolina lead to 7. Boy, they're banging inside. Carter can't handle the entry pass. That's 4 turnovers for North Carolina now.
North Carolina continues, though, Tim, to do a great job screening on the inside, forcing North Carolina State to make some decisions about whether to switch or not to switch. And Carter had position, but as you correctly stated, just couldn't handle the pass.
Jeremy Hyatt. Hyatt misses the jumper. The Tar Heels run. Williams pushes it down. Tried to get it inside to Jamison. Here's Carter banking it in, but he walked first. 5 turnovers for North Carolina. And NC State gets a break.
Tim, one of the things that NC State has done pretty well early in the game is keep pretty good pressure on the ball. We mentioned Antawn Jamison has 8 points in the game, but he's been open a lot on the inside. North Carolina hasn't been able to see him all the time. Of course, they've seen him enough that he has 8 points.
Saw the turnovers that we were talking about. 5 for Carolina.
Back to the man-to-man.
Good penetration and the finish by Harrison. He now has 5.
That's what North Carolina State has done most effectively in this tournament on offense, is get the penetration and score as a result of the penetration.
NC State has cut the lead to 5.
Gainey trying to keep that pressure on the ball.
Back out to Okalaji. Looks over to Carter. He checks the shot clock at 10 and goes with it and fires up an air ball.
That was real good defense. Oshua Benjamin moved his body very effectively, didn't jump up and try to block the shot, but bothered it sufficiently that Carter missed it.
NC State trying to make one of those runs that have kept him in every ball game in this tournament. Strong again. Not even close this time, but look at Harrison. And couldn't convert.
Strong just picked up his 3rd foul.
Away from the basketball.
I was going after the offensive rebound. ACC Harrison with a very acrobatic rebound, just not able to get it back up and get it in the basket. Nobody blocks Harrison out. Okalaji tries at the last minute, but not able to do it. Harrison didn't really collect. He wasn't able to collect himself on balance. So Strong comes over the back and picks up the 3rd foul.
Luke Weltham comes into the ball game. He made 2 critical free throws yesterday against Maryland. And Danny Strong sits down on the NC State bench.
Oh, now Gainey's matched up against. Now I can understand down on the other end, but that's a little crazy. Gainey being matched up against Zwicker on the defensive end.
Coda recognized it, tried to get it into Zwicker through the pass too low, and Gainey knocked it out of bounds.
That's right. When you see that mismatch, you throw the ball 9 feet high. You don't throw it 4 feet high.
Carter. Jamison with the follow. Left alone underneath. He now has 10 points.
7 rebounds to go along with those 10 points. They weren't trying to leave him alone. Benjamin was trying to block him out, but he shed Jamison, or he shed Benjamin, did Jamison.
Under 4 minutes to play in the first half. They're going to call a foul on Carter. Carter for the foul. He was called for the hold. That'll be his first.
Tar Heels lead at 22-15, and if you're going to try to rebound with North Carolina, you better expect some physical play. I think we said that Jamison shed Benjamin. I think that's one way to describe it. Jamison getting position for that offensive rebound.
3:51 to play in the first half, 22-15 Carolina.
And with Danny Strong going out of the game with foul problems, that creates further mismatch problems for North Carolina State. They move Buffum on Zwicker. They're now trying to guard Jamison with Benjamin. The rebounding, North Carolina with an 8 rebound advantage. And actually, North Carolina State has done well on the defensive boards. North Carolina really dominating inside. In fact, 20 of the 22 Tar Heel points have come from front court players.
Jamison with 10, Zwicker with 8. Keep in mind, North Carolina's averaged over 80 points over the last 7 games. Here's Harrison, that's for 3. And just like that, it's 22-18. Harrison with 8 points. This is Gainey on Coda.
Benjamin almost got that one.
Nice jump stop by Williams in the short jumper. His first basket.
Man-to-man for North Carolina. Zwicker with the more conventional matchup against Buffalo now.
Benjamin shoots from 3.
You know, Tim, North Carolina State has not gotten bad shots. They've gotten some good open looks at the basket. They simply have not been able to get them to go down.
Buffum got in the way and picked up his first.
Lots of times when you're playing against North Carolina, that's the best you can do with those big guys inside is get in the way.
During North Carolina's 11-game win streak, the Tar Heels have shot 78% at the free throw line. See Williams' tournament average, almost 19 points a game. He hits the free throw, now has 3 points.
Tim, during that run, they're scoring a lot of points. So when you score a lot of points, that makes it difficult for the opposition. They've got to match you if they're going to stay in the game.
And he makes them both. It's 26-18 North Carolina.
And keep in mind, Tim, this is a North Carolina State team that only averages 59 points a game.
And I'm reminded now's a great time to order Pizza Hut's new pepperoni pizza. Pizza Hut, making it great again and again.
You know, you're reminded of that every game.
Benjamin kicks it out to Buffum. He's going to fire from out there and hit it. Luke Buffum.
That is the first field goal in this tournament for North Carolina State by somebody other than a starter. Buffum had 2 free throws yesterday. So now North Carolina State's bench has 4 points in this tournament.
Buffum listed as a high school product out of Beverly Hills, California, but actually grew up in Burlington, North Carolina. Ball's loose. Possession arrow is going to belong to the Tar Heels.
This was one that North Carolina State almost got. Pretty good defense on the ball. Harrison doing a nice job, gets his hands on it. It just goes right past Benjamin. Benjamin was headed the other way before he got the ball. And as a result, the Tar Heels keep it, but there remains only 13 seconds on the shot clock. Nice screen inside by Okalaji.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. Here's Cota, 5 on the shot clock. We pass it along the baseline and lose it, turn it over. And with a 6-point lead, 1:54 to go in the first half, NC State's going to get it back and try to draw a little bit closer.
North Carolina State, a solid defensive effort throughout the tournament. They're an excellent defensive team, #1 in scoring defense in the country, and they've showed us why all weekend.
Wolfpack just hanging around. Hyatt has a look, gets it over to Gainey. Eight on the shot clock. Nice pass by Benjamin to Harrison. How about that?
Tim Benjamin dribbled around, mesmerized the North Carolina defense, and Harrison snuck in behind.
Harrison now has 10 points. It's a 4-point game. Cota running one-hander and gets the roll. His first bucket.
Continue to be impressed with the number of offensive weapons North Carolina can bring to bear. What's that all about?
40 seconds to play in the half. Harrison on the baseline again. Benjamin almost has it picked off. Shot clock down to 5. He didn't have to shoot that quickly, but Buffum gets it back, and he's fouled. Fouled by Jamison.
That's a heck of a break for North Carolina State. He was fouled just before the shot clock ran out. That ball never hit the rim.
The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited.
I think these are big free throws, Tim.
Buffalo now 3 for 3 in the tournament at the line.
He makes them both. It's a 4-point game.
He's 6 for 12 for the year. And rolls the second one in. 28-24.
North Carolina State showing a little zone.
Shot clock is off. Game clock at 10 seconds. Inside to Jamison, and he's fouled by Buffalo.
What great ball movement by North Carolina, and Jamison moves so well without the ball. Just pops open on the inside. What a great pass through the zone. Good hands by Jamison to collect it. That foul on Hyatt.
That'll be the first on Hyatt. Jamison goes to the line.
Boy, and that's a backbreaker.
Okalaji gets it back. And that's it. The end of the first half at the Greensboro Coliseum. North Carolina leading NC State 30-24 as we prepare to start the second half. And Dan, what about the game plan? What has to happen here?
North Carolina State has done a good job staying in the game, but if they're going to produce in the game, they've got to have that second half explosion. They've averaged 42 points per second half throughout this ACC tournament. They've got to produce that way again. And for North Carolina, they've attacked very well on the offensive end. They're getting it done on the inside. And I think for the Tar Heels, you just have to maintain your attack, particularly on the inside.
Dan, you can't walk in this building or any building that houses the NC or the ACC tournament without going up to Skeeter Francis and taking a look at him. There he is, a luminary. Skeeter Francis, tournament director, 1969 to 1989.
And Skeeter Francis, very interesting jacket. Skeeter, not quite so colorful. Got a different one. So Skeeter, he's been demoted. He's not the tournament director. He's now our timeout coordinator. But Skeeter was the tournament director, as you mentioned, from 69 to 89. He was around, I think, at the formation of the Southern Conference before the ACC. In fact, I think the Paleolithic age.
How about the haircut on Phil Ford? Of course, that was the style back then.
We talked about North Carolina State and their big three being Harrison, Hyatt, and Strong, and how North Carolina had to solve problems there. They have done so. North Carolina State, on the other hand, Jamison and Zwicker producing 20 points between them. That's something that the Wolfpack will have to improve in the second half.
All right, the final 20 minutes of the ACC Tournament Championship game. NC State has it first. Man-to-man defense by North Carolina.
Zwicker playing far off of Gainey.
This is Benjamin.
Boy, again, another good look at the basket. North Carolina State just doesn't get it to go down.
Williams pushes it in a hurry and fires from the baseline and hits it.
And that's something that North Carolina State can ill afford, is to come out and have North Carolina State throw one of those, or North Carolina throw one of those patented 6 to 10 point runs at them. That would change the entire complexion of the game.
32-24, Carolina. Here's Harrison.
Nice job by Carter.
Jeremy Hyatt for three.
That's a big basket.
He now has 5 points.
North Carolina State attempted more threes than twos in the first half, and I just think that's the way the game is going to go. They're going to have to convert some.
Double down on Jamison, over to Zwicker, and he'll take the jump shot from there.
What a nice catch and shoot.
Now Zwicker in double figures. He has 10 today, had 17 yesterday, including a three-pointer at the end of the game.
See if North Carolina State tries to use Gainey as a screen.
Strong misses his three. Harrison loses it out of bounds. It'll belong to the Tar Heels. Dan Strong has had some wide open 3 attempts.
Tim, and you asked the question before the game about the 4 games in 4 days, and I said I thought it could be done, and I still do. Williams drills that one. Boy, if he's going to get
look out,
it's going to be tough for State.
Boy, you're right. When he gets hot, it's trouble.
But it's very possible, you know, shooting has an awful lot to do with your legs, and it's very possible that these guys are playing on some tired legs, and that may make a difference.
Hyatt takes it right down the middle.
A tough shot.
I see Williams start to get that feel, Dan. I think back to that Duke game last year where he hit 6 of 8 from beyond the arc.
Now, North Carolina State is not looking to push the basketball. They want to get it set up. As I said, in this situation, Gainey might want to try to act as a screener to force Zwicker to do something to just stand in the middle of the lane.
Joshua Benjamin with a layup. Nicely done.
That's 2 acrobatic shots by Benjamin. If you were playing him in horse, you'd have HO and you'd be struggling.
This foul's going to be called on Benjamin. The hand check out front. That'll be the first team foul against NC State.
Zwicker, you'll notice, ignoring Gainey entirely, coming down to help, so Benjamin's got to beat 2 guys, not only Cota, but also Zwicker. Does it effectively, protecting the ball with the rim so Zwicker can't get it.
Head Cota checks in. Jamison gets a breather here. 16:55 to play in the ball game. Nice pass. Good idea, poor execution. Here comes Harrison at the other end with a pull-up jumper.
And that's a shot that has to go. If you're going to take it that quickly in North Carolina State's offensive concept, it has to go in the basket.
It's still a 7-point North Carolina lead. Here's Carter. Offensive.
Carter's struggling a little bit offensively. That's 2 fouls now. He lost that last pass on the inside. And this one he gets called for the charge. Watch as he lowers that shoulder right there. That is the signal for the official to put that hand behind the head.
Teammates helped him up, Dan, and he said, my fault, fellas, my fault. Shot too quickly.
North Carolina State with only 2 turnovers, but they have not been able to get the ball to go down on their shooting, so.
Interesting, Harrison takes that charge, still thinking of his last offensive trip, telling the guys, my fault. Here's Joshua Benjamin from beyond the arc. 3 more for NC State.
Nice ball movement that time.
Benjamin now in double figures. He has 10 points. The average is 9.
An important note about those turnovers for North Carolina State. North Carolina obviously not applying defensive pressure, and now the ball gets thrown away. 9 turnovers for the Tar Heels.
Okulaja never had a chance. Could not get to it. 36-32 Tar Heels. Some of the fans reminding the players here on this team, never give up. 36-32 North Carolina, 15:43 to play.
North Carolina State continues to spread the floor.
Gainey looks up and checks the shot clock. 15 seconds there. He fires from the outside. That's for 2.
And that's a nice job by Gainey. Just taking a couple of dribbles. Zwicker backs up. Nice, comfortable 2-point shot. That's in Gainey's range.
His first basket of the afternoon. It's 36-34.
Zwicker looking for the ball inside. Again, good ball pressure by North Carolina State prevents the easy entry pass.
Cota penetrates and loses it. Benjamin picks it up.
It's that Gainey fella again. He knocked it away from Cota. He's had a great tournament too. He has not been out of a ball game for 1 second in this tournament.
He has played with the poise of a senior. Jeremy Hyatt, offensive foul, out of control on the baseline. Solid defense by Okulaja.
Hyatt saw an opportunity. Hyatt did a nice job yesterday getting to the basket against Rodney Elliott. And Obina Akizi, two bigger guys from Maryland. We thought he had a shot there against Okalaji, but wasn't able to complete it.
And there's another one of those guys that does so much for this ball club, Okalaji. He has really had a nice season. One of the leaders in rebounding, three-point shooter, skill leader. And here's 3 more. He now has 11. Williams is feeling it.
When you can get point production from Williams on the outside and Carter on the outside, Carter not in the game at the moment, but when you can get production from the outside, it really loosens things up in the middle.
Gainey again.
Yeah, that's a 3. We mentioned he's not a good three-point shooter.
Williams. Yes!
I'm telling you, that is right in the face of one of the best defenders in the league.
He's feeling it. He now has 14.
And now North Carolina State, Tim, is in a position where they've got to respond offensively.
Shammond Williams with 10 points this half at 42-34. Benjamin short on his jumper. Taken away by Strong.
Okalaji trying to force it inside. That's now 11 turnovers by North Carolina.
Harrison can't get the roll, and that jumper did look like there was some fatigue. He didn't have the legs under him.
That's a nice job by Gainey, a good screen. We talked about maybe that he would be valuable as a screener with Zwicker guarding him. Got an open shot that time. Man-to-man for the Wolfpack.
You can just see Shammond Williams wants to fire. Works off the screen and lets it go. 3 more for Williams. Second timeout.
You talk about concentrating on the inside. Nice screens by those inside guys. The first time Zwicker sets a screen and gets him open. That time just a good move off the dribble, and he gets himself open. And now Jamison and Okalaji with 2 screens, and he's open.
He's feeling it.
North Carolina has scored 15 points in the second half, and Williams has 13 of them, including all 3 North Carolina three-point field goals. Wow.
Tar Heels are playing so well. And once again, NC State on the ropes.
North Carolina runs out to their largest lead, Tim, and that's what we're talking about. North Carolina with a lot of offensive weapons, doing it on the inside in the first half, and now recognizing the hot hand and going to Shammond Williams in the second.
North Carolina playing for a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. NC State playing just to get in. Hyatt for 3 for State.
Big basket, North Carolina in the zone that time. North Carolina State now has to turn it over to its defense, Tim. They need some defensive stops.
11.5 minutes to play. Inside is Zwicker. Zwicker couldn't get it to go down.
Nice rebound by Strong. Williams out of the game for a breather. Even all those threes wears you out. So he's out of the game for a breather, and right away North Carolina goes back to the inside game.
Harrison underneath.
Oh my, what a tough shot.
And couldn't get the tip back.
That was good defense by North Carolina. They forced a very difficult shot without fouling.
We now go under 11 minutes of the championship game. 45-37, Tar Heels.
Jamison wanted the ball.
Oh! Strong gets it back. It was intended for Jamison.
They were too late. The first time Jamison was open, they didn't find it. They cannot continue to come down and have empty trips, Tim.
This is Gainey. Yes.
He's pretty good when he steps inside that three-point line. He's now got 4 points.
Pulls the Carolina lead back to 6. Boy, every time you think they're putting NC State away, they just fight back. Here's a walk by Okalaja. That's 13 turnovers now for North Carolina. .10:02 to play. North Carolina 45. NC State 39. And they have been treated to some great stories in this 44th annual ACC tournament. NC State certainly the lead story. The Cinderella team. We've read fate, destiny. Could they do it again?
North Carolina applying some pressure really for the first time. Tim, I don't know that the story, the fairy tale we're talking about here is Cinderella. I think it's more like the brave little tailor. These guys are trying to go out and slay a pretty big giant.
I thought it was interesting yesterday. Maryland coach Gary Williams said, hey, that's not a bad club we lost to. Don't think we were terribly upset. This is a very good basketball team, a different team than we saw earlier in the year.
Shot clock running down.
Strong has a look and buries a three. Splash, 45-42.
Every time you think they're dead, they come back. Williams back in the game. We'll see if he remains hot.
Okalaja gets it back to Cota. 10 on the shot clock. Oh! Possession arrow belongs to North Carolina.
My goodness, what a tournament that young man has had.
5 on the shot clock.
Cota is taking this ball hard to the basket. Gainey gets up. I mean, no body contact there. You can't do it any better than that. Now, can they hold it?
Carter puts it on the ground, and Benjamin takes it away.
And Benjamin settles it down. North Carolina gets back on defense well, but they could actually tie the game with a 3. Herb Sendek's troops 7 of 20 from three-point range. I never saw Benjamin coming by.
Harrison has a look. Gets it back to Benjamin. 10 on the shot clock. Harrison recognizes it. Kicks it out to Hyatt. He's left on. Could not get it to go down.
Now let's see if North Carolina can apply another punch to send him to the canvas, Tim. That's what Carolina has done in this tournament.
Gainey with the steal. Benjamin looking for help.
Jeremy Hyatt called a timeout.
Smart play by Hyatt. Now he wants a 20-second timeout, but he saw that Benjamin was in trouble. Could not find an outlet, and with 7:55 to play, calls the timeout. NC State trailing by 3. The Nations Bank, a corporate partner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, presents this ACC Salute to Excellence question. Only 2 first-year coaches have won the ACC tournament. Who are they? We'll have the answer for you coming up shortly.
Tim, it's very interesting. We talked about North Carolina State needing to solve the problem of North Carolina hammering them on the inside. You can see North Carolina, most of their points coming on the inside in the first half. But with Shammond Williams heating up from three-point range, it's been the outside in the second half.
Hyatt gets it over to Gainey. Back to Hyatt as they work the perimeter. Hyatt again draws iron off the front of the hoop.
They had 2 opportunities, 2 threes to tie the game and missed them both.
Both times it was Hyatt. And here's Benjamin with a steal. It's a 2-on-1. Oh,
marvelous defense by Cota.
Great hands by the freshman. Knocks it out of bounds. And with 7:29 left in the game, There's timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. It's 45-42 Tar Heels. How about this defense by the freshman? Only 2 first-year coaches have won the ACC Tournament. Who are they? The answer is, from the Dan Bonner Archives, Vic Bubas and Press Maravich.
Now, Herb Sendek, of course, could become only the 2nd coach to win the title in his actual first year in the ACC Tournament. Press Maravich, that was his first year at North Carolina State, but he had coached at Clemson in the tournament before that.
What a job he's done. Wolfpack beat Georgia Tech, beat Duke, beat Maryland, and now trying to do the same to North Carolina.
Doing a great job forcing turnovers and converting them. North Carolina's turned the ball over 10 times in the second half.
Paul Strong had a look, gets it back to Gainey. Inside they go and back out again.
They've had 2 opportunities to pull a little closer.
Shot clock down to 12.
Zone defense.
Benjamin recognizes it. Strong fires.
Boy, they had 3 3-point shots, open looks at the basket to tie the game. They missed all 3. North Carolina's not going to give you very many more chances.
Under 7 minutes to play. To Zwicker, yes. Serge Zwicker now with 12 points. 47-42. Total amount of points they scored in the last meeting between these two in Raleigh.
North Carolina stays in the zone.
Gainey finally gets the 3. 47-45 Carolina. So many young players taking big roles. Here's Jamison inside, fouled by Hyatt.
Tim, in the last couple of possessions looked like the first half for North Carolina. Zwicker and Jamison screening for one another. A couple of times in the first half, we saw miscommunication between Hyatt and Strong on the screen. Again, Hyatt doesn't switch. Strong is telling him right now, hey, you got to switch that screen. Shammond Williams, who hit some big threes earlier in the half, sets up the 3-point play here by Antawn Jamison.
Now Jamison gets the roll and makes it a 50-45 ball game. Jeremy Hyatt has picked up his 3rd person.
And now North Carolina goes back to the man-to-man.
And we've got 6 minutes to play in the championship game. Harrison looks at Okalaja, measures his options, and fires from out there.
Oh!
Benjamin got up there, got his hands on it, couldn't hold it. Williams wanted that shot, and Gainey jumped in his face.
Well, it's interesting. ACC Harrison hasn't scored in this half. He had 10 at halftime, still has 10.
Williams stumbled. Cody got it back. Shot clock now down to 14. Down to 7. Inside to go to Jamison. How about the entry pass?
What an acrobatic catch and shot.
And Jamison has 17 points.
Just like that, it's back to 7.
Benjamin with the penetration, banks it in.
Tough shot.
Great strong drive by Oshua Benjamin. 5-point deficit for NC State. The entry pass to Jamison. Hyatt was there. Williams gets a look from the baseline.
Well, Hyatt doing everything you can do to prevent Jamison from scoring on that play.
Dan, it's amazing to me. These 5 players have gone almost every minute of this tournament. 4 games. And apparently haven't hit the wall yet. Strong shot is short. Harrison came down on Williams' back.
And rode there for a minute or 2. Man, Strong really struggling with that jump shot.
Time now becomes a factor as we go under 4 minutes.
Well, if you're the North Carolina State Wolfpack, you've just got to suck it up and play right now. North Carolina going to spread the court, try to run some time off the clock, apply a little NC State strategy.
First step by Williams. Shot. What a first step to gain the advantage. He has 19 points.
NC State has responded all weekend. Do they have another response?
Oh, Gainey, dangerous pass. Tried to get him strong. Almost threw it away. Benjamin left alone.
Really good offense. Got him a wide open shot. That one looked like it just slid out of the hands of Oshua Benjamin.
Say what you will about NC State continuing to come back. Gainey inside is fouled. But Carolina continues to hold him off as well. This foul on Ed Cota.
Gainey makes a big, big play. Gainey looks like a tired young fellow to me right now, Tim.
I think their last 3 shots from the outside have looked like fatigue. Just don't have the legs.
Gainey's at the line trying to catch his breath. Look at that.
He's a 62% free throw shooter. Makes the first one. He has 8 points. He's now made 32 of his 51 free throws this year. He's had a terrific tournament. The freshman has shown the poise of a senior. And this is the second. Carolina by 6 with 2:50 to play.
Sendek trying to motivate his kids for one last big effort.
Benjamin on Williams. Williams now calls the attack. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 8. Here's Williams. Strong gets it back. The outlet pass to Benjamin. State will get it back. Sendek wanted a foul call. Carolina wanted the ball back. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play. It's 54-48 North Carolina. You see the time remaining in the championship game from Greensboro. North Carolina leading 54-48.
North Carolina State with possession of the basketball with only 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. They are in a situation where they have to score. The last couple of trips North Carolina has tried to milk the clock. They've run it all the way down. They haven't been able to convert it at the end of the shot clock, Tim. But if North Carolina State can't take advantage by scoring, then that works in the Tar Heels' favor.
Dan, take a look at our Advanced Auto Parts game summary.
North Carolina State forcing those 17 turnovers. They've done a nice job converting those into baskets, but North Carolina, the big edge on the board, and Shammond Williams, 15 second half points, has really helped the Tar Heels hold off the North Carolina State charge to this point.
Carolina closed the regular season with 9 straight wins, 2 more here in the tournament. Unquestionably one of the hottest teams in the country, playing well, trying to hold on to win the ACC championship. 54-48 Tar Heels with 2:13 to play.
Now North Carolina State does not have a great deal of time to play around with the ball. North Carolina in their zone, trying to force them to run some time off the clock before they shoot.
Strong gets another good look. He just cannot get his threes to go down. Here he is again. And again he's short.
Zwicker walked.
Turnover Carolina with 1:46 to play. That's 18 turnovers for the Tar Heels this afternoon.
They really, really need to get a basket.
Shot clock resets at 35. But it's the game clock that has become so important for the NC State Wolfpack now. Harrison still has not scored in this half. Here he is, and has it blocked.
And that That may be enough right there.
Nice pass to Okalaja, and he's fouled by Harrison.
Boy, Herb Sendek has seen his team play hard for 4 consecutive games. Just not able to get those. They had a couple of shots at it. Some concern on the Wolfpack bench. North Carolina, I think, feeling a little bit more comfortable right now. Defensive stand turned into a transition opportunity. North Carolina State missing its last 7 shots.
Okalaja makes the first one. NC State may have just hit that wall. What a year it's been for North Carolina. The football team finished 10th in the country. The women's basketball team has been in the top 10. Men's basketball team in the top 10. First time that's ever happened to a school in the AP top 10 rankings. All 3 of those teams. Foul by Antawn Williams.
We talked about the North Carolina advantage in size, and you've seen it at various points in the ballgame. None more evident than right there as Zwicker just keeps the ball alive, and finally North Carolina retains possession. That's only team foul number 5 against North Carolina State. So there'll be no shots. Dean Smith calls a 20-second timeout. Talk about how they want to inbound the ball and who he wants to handle the ball coming down the stretch. You'd obviously like to keep it in the hands of your most productive free throw shooter.
1:19 to play, 55-48, North Carolina. Still a 3-possession ball game, but time running out on the Wolfpack.
It's a 3-possession ball game, and what North Carolina is going to try to do is run as much time off the clock as they can before they shoot the basketball. North Carolina State doesn't, as you say, it's a 3-possession game. They don't have time to let North Carolina run time off the clock. If they don't get the steal on the inbounds pass, they're going to have to try to get the early foul.
Here's Gainey, fouls Zwicker. Interesting, it's been the game plan throughout the tournament for NC State to melt the clock, and here now they've got to utilize every second.
Zwicker has had a very fine tournament for North Carolina and a very fine year as well. He's actually a 75% free throw shooter.
That was the last foul to give. One more, they're over the limit, and Carolina will be shooting 1-1.
Oh, nice ball movement.
Here at Dakota, and he's fouled by Hyatt. 1:14 to play.
Too many good options. Foul out there on the court right now.
So Cota will go to the line shooting 1-1. Ed Cota, the freshman from Brooklyn, New York, 73% free throw shooter. He was 4 for 4 at the line yesterday.
Nice job by North Carolina to move the ball and run a few seconds off the clock before the Wolfpack able to get the foul.
Misses the first one. Clint Carter gets the rebound.
The ball was short. It's a tough one to rebound if you're the team with inside position where North Carolina State was, but Zwicker tipped it back again.
As soon as Carter touched it, Gainey fouled him. 1:11 to play now. Cota goes out of the ball game, and Okalaja comes back in. So now Vince Carter goes to the line, and he's a 74% free throw shooter, and he was 2 for 2 at the line yesterday.
Danny Strong blocked Serge Zwicker out to about half court. He wouldn't have Zwicker touching that one again.
What a story Vince Carter has been after a disappointing freshman year, sometimes frustrating. Being injured early this season, he has come back and played very well and been a key in the Carolina surge.
Well, Tim, interesting in this game, North Carolina's got 4 fouls to give if they want to.
Harrison for 3. 1:03 to play. It's 56-51. Harrison's first bucket of the second half.
And obviously North Carolina, Tim, is not going to just go out and foul, but it's going to make it difficult. If North Carolina State is trying to handle the ball, they can play pretty aggressively. Doesn't care if they foul.
We'll be back after this message from the Atlantic Coast Conference.
North Carolina State has 1 timeout left. It's a full timeout. North Carolina with its complement of 2 full timeouts and a 22nd timeout remaining. We mentioned only 2 team fouls against the Tar Heels here in the second half. So they've got 4 fouls to give. If North Carolina State gets the ball back, then North Carolina can afford to play very aggressively on defense, forcing North Carolina State to run some time off the clock and foul them and make them take the ball out of bounds. That could be a very disruptive tactic. But for the Wolfpack, they need to get the ball back. And if they don't get a steal, they don't have a lot of time to play around. If they don't get a steal, they're going to have to foul immediately.
Jeremy Hyatt goes out of the ball game. Luke Buffum comes in for NC State. 1:03 to play. Okalaja, he's fouled immediately by Benjamin. Benjamin took the brunt of it.
Benjamin got his money's worth.
Now Hyatt will check back in as Herb Sendek works offense-defense strategy. That's the 9th team foul against NC State, so they're still shooting 1-1. Okalaja at the line.
He's the guy they wanted to get.
Right, he's a 53% free throw shooter. He's at 29 of his 55 attempts. Ice. 57-51 Tar Heels.
Smith just told Shammond Williams, reminded him they've got some fouls to give, and Williams passed that information along to Cota.
Now Okalaja just made it a 3-possession game again. As we go under the 1-minute mark.
Oh, you don't want to commit a foul in the act of shooting.
Gainey fouled and won.
Boy, and Dean Smith. You know, he didn't need for him to foul that kid in the act of shooting.
The foul is on Ed Cota, the freshman.
Cota was looking to commit the foul out about half court, and Gainey just went right by him. Boy, Gainey continues to play a solid game. 10 points now. You see Shammond Williams there in the background with his hands on his head. He knew that that's not what they wanted to do.
Gainey has played every second of this tournament. He has not come out of a game yet. Gainey will be at the line. He's a 62% free throw shooter.
Now, Dean Smith has just called a 20-second timeout, that he wants to get this business about fouls to give and when you're going to foul and that kind of stuff totally squared away. He's going to draw up a he's going to diagram what he wants them to do to get the ball in bounds, or simply to remind them what play they want to run. But for North Carolina, what you have to do right now, you've got to get the ball in bounds and you've got to make free throws. And as long as you play intelligently on the defensive end, you can't lose the game.
Dean Smith chasing Rupp's record. Smith has 874 wins at Carolina. He also has 12 ACC tournament titles. How much pressure on the freshman?
Guys, we got one shot here. Wait for the release.
57 seconds left, trailing by 5. 58-54 Carolina. Williams splits the double team and is fouled. The foul is on Gainey. North Carolina's 9 of 14 at the line as Gainey picks up his 4th personal. Williams now will make a trip to the charity stripe. Buffum goes back out of the game as Hyatt comes back in.
It's a good play by Okalaja to get rid of the basketball. Of course, he just made the 2 free throws, but he got the ball to a better free throw.
I was just going to say, you go from a 53% free throw shooter to a guy who shoots better than 80% at the line.
2 shots now. We're over the 10 foul limit. Boy, Williams just really had a big second half.
And he's confident. He just smiles and looks over and shakes his head. Nothing to it. ...24 points yesterday. He has 21 here this afternoon. 52 seconds left, and Carter fouls.
Now that's where you want to get the foul, and that's what Dean Smith wanted him to do the last time.
That's the 14th foul against the Tar Heels.
They still have 2 more to give.
51.6 seconds left. Fouled him pretty quickly there, though. 1 more to give.
It's battle against time.
Only 1 second went off.
It's 4 fouls on Carter. Carter's going to want to give any more.
I thought he was going to let him bring it across and get a little more time off the clock. Here's Harrison down the lane, and he's fouled by Carter. The bucket won't count. That'll be 5 on Vince Carter. He'll be disqualified.
I don't think Carter was trying to give a foul in that situation.
No, absolutely not.
Harrison just beat him to the basket.
Carter actually, like a swinging gate, tried to get out of the way. So Carter will lead with 5 personals, and Serge Zwicker will come back into the ball game. Zwicker has 12 points. 8 of those came in the first half.
Now, Dean Smith taking a long time to get Zwicker in the game. He's got 30 seconds to do it, but that gives North Carolina State the time to talk things over.
Carolina has no more fouls to give. 46.7 seconds left.
It goes to show you how versatile the Tar Heels are offensively. Carter only 3 points today.
NC State needs a couple of threes. Hyatt. And the immediate foul. That could do it. 39.3 seconds left. North Carolina going after its 14th ACC tournament title. Boy, as many times as NC State made a run at them, they just not would relinquish the lead.
Damon Thornton, of course, on the North Carolina State bench. That hip problem, he has not played at all. This very fine ACC tournament run by his teammates.
Zwicker, 13 points. 9 rebounds, and Carolina's just been so tough at the free throw line. 62-54, Carolina. Harrison has it blocked. That'll do it. Benjamin with the immediate foul. But NC State is running out of time, and Carolina trying to get a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
North Carolina feeling very confident at this point in the game, as well they should, and now they can start looking forward to next weekend. And I agree with you, Tim. I think they will be a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
And a team that will be tough to beat.
A team that is playing very well offensively. We talked about how versatile they were offensively. They're going to win the ACC championship game over a very game North Carolina State team. And they're going to win the game in a situation where Vince Carter, one of their main offensive weapons, only scores 3 points. They have a lot of different guys who can hurt them.
How about this? Carolina has gone to the Final Four in all the odd years in the 90s. 91 they lost to Kansas. 93 national champions. 95 lost to Arkansas. But they're going back this year to the NCAAs for the 22nd consecutive time, and they probably will go as a #1 seed. That's it. Carolina wins it. 64-54 Tar Heels, and North Carolina wins the 44th annual ACC tournament.